This is Dustin. Welcome to my Xcom Enemy Unknown Alien Base mission. The mission is on Classic difficulty, but I didn't use Iron Man mode to get here. The playthrough, however, has no reloads. The team I'm going to run with is 2 heavies, 2 assaults, and 2 supports. The assaults are great for fleshing out the enemies, the heavies are great for putting them down, and the supports carry around some medkits in case anybody takes any fire. I'm going to jump right in and have my assault check the little area to the left and see if any enemies spawned over there. If they didn't, I'm going to pull her back, put everybody into cover, and then start moving to the right and see if there's any enemies over there. Keeping your guys in cover when you haven't contacted the enemy is not something that everybody does, but there's a bug that manifests occasionally, or maybe it's meant to happen in the game, where aliens will occasionally get to take the first shot before you can react and move your people into cover. Also, I often find that if I'm not just keeping my people in cover, sometimes I don't have enough places to put people into cover if I've been keeping them together in formation and just moving them around. That's particularly bad in a place like the alien base. It's a little more recoverable when you have a good place to run to, like the forest levels. 2 night watchmen show up to see what's going on in the alien parking garage and accidentally step into a withering barrage of reaction fire. Colonel Bonsai lives up to her name by running up and sticking her alloy cannon right into the alien's grill and pulling the trigger. After doing away with the parking lot security guards, I move my squad up to the next door for whatever reason. On UFOs and in the alien base, the aliens almost never open their own doors, so it's safe just to run up, set the squad, and open the door and see what's on the other side. A couple more security guards show up. My squad could charge in, guns blazing, and almost certainly take the 2 of them out with minimal or no damage. What I'm afraid of, though, is what else might be lurking around the corner, so I take a little more cautious approach and make my first major mistake of the base assault. Hoping that the heavy floaters will charge, or at least split up, I move a couple of people back, I move into Overwatch, and I wait a couple of turns. This part of the plan goes perfectly. A missed Overwatch shot, and here comes that mistake I was telling you about. I move 2 people to look in the door to see if I can see that floater and take him out, and I can't, and I leave them there as grenade bait, having forgotten that heavy floaters carry alien grenades. Why I couldn't see those guys, and why I never got any Overwatch shots on them, is a bit of a mystery, but what isn't a mystery is that my squad is now taking a pounding, and I've barely cleared the first room. King Kong decides a 69% chance of revenge is good enough for him, and he takes the shot with his heavy plasma. The room beyond this door just has terrible cover options. There's no real way to advance into it safely, plus there's a high likelihood of activating something else, which could be heavy mutons or worse, so I decide to nuke the site from orbit. It's the only way to be sure. 1 heavy floater is dead, and the other one is completely missing his cover. I could take a second shot with my heavy, and possibly take him out, but since he's already taken some damage, he's going to retreat from the battle for now, and somebody who has a higher marksmanship is going to take a shot. Time to use up some medkits, reload our weapons, and head for that other door. The setup on this door is just like the setup on the other door. Then I quickly put everybody into Overwatch by spamming the Y button and the right shoulder button to move through the characters really quickly and not have to wait for everybody's animations. Two drones show up, so I blast one at close range with the alloy cannon, and then set up an Overwatch trap and hope they blunder into it. I don't move a person away from the door, because drones, unlike heavy floaters, actually don't have grenades. Bonsai takes a peek into the next room, looking for that missing drone, and she stumbles upon a new group of enemies, one of whom turns out to be our nemesis for the entire base mission. My favorite use for shredder rockets is the sectopod, so here comes the shredder rocket. Not only will the sectopod take enhanced damage now that he's been shredded, but his little buddies aren't flying around where they can repair him now and distract my gunners from shooting at him when he comes around a corner.
That's affirmative. On the move. Run him down. Moving to position.
Heading there now. Oh, shot wide.
Bonsai goes looking for the sectopod. If she finds it, the squad will rush it this turn, because we can probably take it down with a few shots from the shotgun, and maybe some follow-up shots from heavy plasma or even just the regular plasma rifles. Unfortunately, it's gone, having absconded through the giant hole in the wall that we blew with the shredder rocket in the turn before. Thinking the sectopod might just be on the other side of this room, I decide it's a good idea to take out this drone, lest he escape and start repairing his buddy. I spend the next several turns setting up a flanking maneuver to go through both sides of this hallway, hoping to catch that sectopod. Unfortunately, he has in fact escaped through the giant hole in the wall that I blew with the shredder rocket, so then I set my guys up to breach the doors. A couple of regular floaters should be easy pickings, but where the heck is that sectopod? The line of sight is clearly broken here, and Nuke abuses it to his advantage and takes out one of the floaters. Magic Man has a below average accuracy, so I usually save him for suppression.
Suppressing fire on target. They're starting to lose ground.
Nuke somehow manages to take down a second floater through a solid stone wall.
Target acquired. Missed the target. Running fire. That's affirmative. That is not good.
Moving.
Moving out. Eyes on the prize.
Clearly, the sectopod came this way.
They're trying to pull back.
Target's still up.
I'm about to start keeping score.
Two more enemies are down, which is great, but there's still a sectopod wandering around out there somewhere, and I'd really like to find him and put an end to him.
Overwatch. Aye, aye.
A lone drone shows up, and we put him down, but I'm left wondering where he came from, and if he has any buddies, and if his buddies are sectopods. Hey, what's that over there? Oh look, it's the sectopod. Wait a minute, that one has all its health. So either this is another sectopod, or the one that we've been chasing has somehow managed to heal itself up. Sectopods are very scary enemies. My preferred tactic whenever possible is to rush them with as many people as possible and just pour on damage very, very quickly before they get the chance to respawn.
Moving to firing position. Moving. On my way.
Bonsai did a bang-up job against that sectopod, but now she's stuck clear across the room with no supporting fire. I'm a little worried about her, so I make another mistake.
That location. Look sharp. Enemies rolling up. Target's still up.
Fortunately, most of my squad hasn't moved yet, so I can recover somewhat from this problem.
Got it.
Luckily, for whatever reason, the mutons don't concentrate their fire, and both of my people just take hits to their armor.
Unit done. Target's still up. On the move. Dead and gone.
It's affirmative.
Moving to firing position.
This is my biggest mistake of the entire game. Rather than taking a wounded soldier and moving her into the back lines and using a med kit on her, I run her up to the front and try to use a double shot on this wounded muton. I think that she'll take him out. Unfortunately, she misses twice. Worse, she discovers where that sectopod that we've been looking for all this time has gone.
Aye, aye.
They're falling back. Watch the flanks. They're falling back. Watch the flanks. Stepping off. There's heavy fire in this zone.
It turns out this is a terrible hiding spot.
Under that. Moving. Good to go. Come on, you'll be back in the fight.
Reloading.
Whoops, forgot that sectopods always get free reaction fire. rogue sectopod's reign of terror is finally at an end. Now it's time to use up what's left of the med kits and take out the base commander.
Easy now, soldier. I will, Commander.
Aye, aye. Moving out. Weapons free. Commander.
Aye, aye, Commander.
Rather than take a high percentage shot at the Berserker and pull him into my lines when I'm not quite ready for him, I go into Overwatch. I've never seen a Berserker move as long as somebody has Overwatch on them, even though that would probably be their best move.
Comfort zone. Heading there now. The target. Moving out.
I like to switch to the pistol against low health enemies to conserve ammo in my main weapon. However, I often forget to switch back to the main weapon, which in this particular move bites me a little bit later.
Bye-bye.
I've kept this Berserker locked down with Overwatch, and my plan is to keep him that way until I'm ready to just pour a bunch of shots into him all at once. It's a terrific plan, except for some heavy floaters come and kind of ruin my concentration.
See you in hell.
They're backing up. Advance.
Somebody's about to get seriously hurt.
Moving.
Time to take down the Berserker with some ping-pong tactics.
What? No. What's happening? No, this isn't right. This isn't right.
Moving out. I'm about to start keeping score. Heading there now.
Aye, aye, Commander.
That's a load of bull.
With that last heavy floater down, the only thing left on this mission to do is get a lecture from a video game about playing video games, and then deal with the base commander.
Computer games.
Enemy spotted.
Yes, it almost looks like a larger version of the sectoid, but something is different.
The plan here is to give the base commander a gentle smack with the shotgun, and hopefully he'll have 3 or less hit points and we can capture him. Or, you know, just explode his head.
Feels like we're finally turning the tide. Now that we've captured their device, the aliens are running out of secrets.
It's imperative that we begin the research as soon as possible.